Hi lingerie lovers, I'm Sammi Cole, and on this week's Undie Mondays, we're looking at bridal lingerie. Now when it comes to the big day, picking lingerie to go with your dress can be almost as exciting as choosing the dress itself. But to make sure your lingerie is just right, here are some top tips. Number 1, sexy lingerie isn't always the best choice for the day itself. What you're wearing underneath your dress can greatly affect how it looks and how it sits on your body. And the last thing you want is your bra showing all the way through the ceremony. Unless you're getting married in Vegas. A simple practical set in a cut that you would normally wear is probably your best bet to wear throughout the day. After all, not only are you thinking of what it will look like under the dress, but also how comfortable you'll be for the 12 plus hours that you're in it. Obviously, the more figure hugging the dress, the less you can wear underneath without it showing. Second thing to remember is the wedding night itself. Now most of us will think, oh wow, wedding night, right, going to be the best sex of my life. It's probably not going to be. After an incredibly long day, an incredibly long build-up to the wedding, and also maybe a few drinks, you might find that the last thing you and your groom want to do when you get back to your hotel room is have sex. Actually, the vast majority of people just fall asleep. But if you do want to have a really sexy look for that evening, regardless, the best thing to do is go for something that isn't too complicated to get on and off. A lot of wedding dresses are quite complicated to get out of, so maybe the last thing that you'll be wanting to do is put on some complicated lingerie that has all straps and buckles and bells and whistles that it takes you an hour to get off again. Sexy sleepwear like a baby doll, a chemise, a robe or anything like that is probably your best bet for the wedding night itself. Third thing to remember is the colour. Now a lot of wedding lingerie will be white or cream or ivory or variants on the usual wedding dress shades. But if you want your lingerie to be invisible throughout the day, you should be matching it to your skin tone rather than to the dress. As many of us know, sometimes white lingerie can show up just as much as black. However, if you have a dress that's made of a relatively thick material, you can get away with more colourful items of lingerie underneath. If the paler colours aren't really for you, then why not try matching your lingerie to the colours of the bridesmaid's dress or the colour of the flowers? That way you're still tying it in with the wedding theme, if you want to. Another thing to remember is to take your lingerie along to your dress fittings. What you're wearing underneath can obviously affect how the dress looks and sits on your body, so if the people altering your dress know what that is, they can then work with that to give the best outline. Another very important thing to remember that isn't necessarily the sexiest thing but will help you on the big day is that if you're going for a big dress, don't go for overly complicated hosiery underneath. From a practical perspective, having layers of tulle and petticoats and satin and everything all around you and then trying to go to the loo isn't the easiest. If you go for stockings and suspenders, make sure that you wear your knickers over the top so they're easier to take off. Or another great alternative is suspender tights because they do the same job without having any of the faff. And finally, if you are a bride who, like a lot of brides, fancies wearing stockings on the big day, make sure you get one of your bridesmaids to carry a spare pair for you. Stockings and hold-ups look great, but they aren't necessarily the most robust items. If you know someone's got a backup pair, it's a weight off your mind. So there you go, those are the key things you need to know about choosing your wedding lingerie. If your big day's coming up and you're looking for a few tips, don't forget to let me know in the comments below. Click subscribe on the Lovehoney heart to subscribe to the YouTube channel and see me every week with a brand new Undie Mondays. Thanks for watching and I will see you next week.